And to talk about the killings of soldiers in Abia State, I'm joined live by Katch Ononuju, a political and public affairs analyst. Good evening. Glad to have you join me.
Thank you very much for having me.
First, let me get your thoughts on the killings in Abia State.
First and foremost, I condemn this. I learned about it yesterday when Senator Barabé called me on the phone and talked about it and how very, very sad leaders are in Abia, and he was in Abia in regards to this. I condemn it vehemently. Nobody should kill our soldiers who are giving their lives for the protection of our country. That's one. Two, we need to properly investigate, interrogate who did it and for reasons why. I do not believe the stories I've had pointing people when you were not there, when you did not see who did it. You're just now making statements and putting it in a particular group. No, let's interrogate to find out who did it. But of course, as a leader in the country and in the Southeast, I condemn it, but I insist that we investigate properly before we start throwing blames. Let it not be a strategy for people to come to Abia and undermine the sterling works that we've seen Governor Alex Oti embark upon. Let it not be that. We know there are a lot of very, very bad groups all scattered across the country, and we know also there are incidences of forced flag operations. So let us interrogate first to find out who truly did the killing. If people simply make charges and make accusations, what evidence do they have? What fact do they have to pin it on any particular group?
Just to quickly come in there. Yes, just to butt in there, apologies to butt in there. Now, Ohaneze Ndigbo has denounced the killings, dissociating it with Nnamdi Kanu. How do you think the Nigerian government will respond to this denouncement, and also impact, what impact will these have on their handling of the situation with Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB, of course?
Ohaneze Ndigbo were right to condemn the killing, and Nnamdi Kanu, yes, Ohaneze is working very assiduously to make the government treat him the same way they've treated Bello Bodejo. Bello Bodejo's offense was organizing an ethnic militia in Nasarawa State, which he intended to use to march on Benue State. Nnamdi Kanu's own offense is also organizing the ethnic militia, ESN. So if the government has withdrawn the terrorism charges against Bello Bodejo, I think they should also withdraw the terrorism charges against Nnamdi Kanu. That's why I say, let it not be that there are forced flag operations and people are simply hiding behind different masks to perpetrate this killing of soldiers in the Southeast as a way to undermine the current push by Ohaneze and other well-meaning people to gain the release of Nnamdi Kanu. As I said earlier, Bello Bodejo was charged for terrorism because he organized an ethnic militia, the Fulani militia in Nasarawa, which he intended to use to march on Benue State. Nnamdi Kanu was arrested for organizing an ethnic militia, the ESN. So if two of them are to be given the same treatment and their charges withdrawn and released, let this killing of soldiers not be staged as the forced flag operation to undermine that effort of Ohaneze to get Nnamdi Kanu out. That's why I'm saying, let us investigate properly to know where the killings came from. Let it not be forced flag operations to undermine the efforts of Igbo leaders to make peace with the federal government and having Nnamdi Kanu released. Now, I believe Nnamdi Kanu should be released.
Just to add there, talking about Igbo leaders, what do you make of Chief Emmanuel Uwanyao's statement that Nnamdi Kanu is not behind the order for the seat at home? And what does this reveal about the dynamics within the separatist movement?
Well, that is true. Nnamdi Kanu is not behind the order for stay at home. I am aware that Nnamdi Kanu's problem with his organization came after he did some administrative changes to the protocols of the signatories to the accounts of the organization in Germany, and that was how the organization started fragmented. So you now had some who formed what they call the Biafra National Movement, and they started working with Asari Dokubo, and then before you knew it, they have factions, and those factions Some of them started working with the Buhari administration against Nnamdi Kanu. So it is not everybody of the over 34 different associations who bear Biafran organizations that are under Nnamdi Kanu. There are some of them who are fifth columnists, who are working for the state, and who will do anything to make sure Nnamdi Kanu does not get released. So that's why I say, let us investigate properly who it is that may be killing the soldiers. They may be doing it as a way to forestall any progress towards the release of Nnamdi Kanu. So it may not be anything to do with Nnamdi Kanu or even to do with the original IPOB that has brought down about the death of these soldiers. That's why I say, let us investigate properly. Don't forget, soldiers have come into severe danger across the country. Let it not be, and this is why I suspect there might be people behind the killings who are doing this to forestall the progress being made by the Tifiwane Liwanyangu-led Igbo Leaders Organization called Ohaneze, of which I am a member of its Elders Council.
Mr. Ononuju,
I condemn these killings and I urge proper interrogation and investigation before we go public to make pronouncements as to who did it or who didn't do it.
Mr. Ononuju, thank you so much for your insight on the news. I wish we had more time to talk about this, but thank you so much for your time on the news. Katch Ononuju, political analyst, thank you once again.
Thank you for having me.